Prologue, Chapter 9, Day 6, Morning. The Attic. Dearest Wilma, the following afternoon, Mortimer showed me the steamer trunk where Simon Crumplebottom's journals were held. Like most of the family artifacts, they were stored in the tiny loft above my second-story bedroom. It was accessible only through a hatch that had a tendency to stick and an aged ladder that was warped from the elements. When I ascended the attic ladder, I was immediately struck by the heat. It was suffocating. The humidity combined with the scent of rotting timbers made it nearly impossible to breathe. My father, however, seemed unperturbed. He navigated the heaps of baby doll amputees, moth-eaten gowns, mousetraps, and dusty, sagging armchairs with ease. At last, he showed me a valise that was as long as I was tall and half as deep. I wiped a bead of sweat from my brow. "Why did you keep Great-Grandpa's things if you hated him so much?" I asked. I don't know what possessed me to ask such a question, especially in such a cramped and miserable place. My hair was already beginning to stick to my forehead. Mortimer sighed. "Because, whether I like it or not, he's a part of the Goth family history. Unlike your mother, bless her, I do not believe history should be erased or forgotten." What he said made sense, Wilma.
Ja goffwn rilornith chrimaga fai.
Before yesterday, I had never heard of my Uncle Michael. He had even invited me to be the ring-bearer at his wedding that May. It was Mortimer who rescued the unopened invitations from the dustbin. Mortimer hefted the trunk in his arms while I cleared a less convoluted path to the trapdoor. When the trunk was safely tucked into a corner of my room, Mortimer excused himself to wash up. Being the curious schoolboy that I was, I made a beeline to the chest. I flicked open the brass latches without a second thought.
"Not so fast, old sport,"
said Mortimer.
"Don't touch anything until I return, or I'll—"
He looked at my hands. They were covered with dirt.
"On second thought, maybe you had better come with me."
After we had both scoured the attic's grime from our hands, we returned to my room. Mortimer produced 2 pairs of black satin gloves from his pocket.
"Today I'm going to teach you your first lesson on being a historian," he said. "Always handle the evidence with care."
He handed me the smaller of 2 pairs. We started by taking inventory of the trunk's contents.
"Now I'm giving you the most important role," he said. "When I say what an item is, you must write it down exactly as I describe it."
I nodded. My father has a way of making the most menial of tasks sound exciting. 2 hours, 20 hand-bound leather volumes, 7 business ledgers, a pocket watch, 5 family photographs, sans Simon, 3 pairs of gold cufflinks, 2 crystal tie pins, a quilt, and an aching hand later. I was sure we were nearing the end of the trunk's contents. I had long abandoned all pretense of maintaining good penmanship. Mortimer was determined to keep a steady pace whether I was finished writing or not. Then, suddenly, the stream of endless keepsakes and records stopped. Curious as to what caused the cessation, I set down my pencil and pad of paper. Mortimer was holding up a gilded, oblong vessel with a circular lid. He sat, transfixed by the artifact. "Is it a cookie jar?" I suggested. I had hoped to rouse him from his stupor. Mortimer furrowed his brow. It was as if he was of 2 minds on how to describe it.
"Yes,"
he said several moments later.
"Although I wouldn't eat one if I were you. I imagine they went off long ago. Yes. Some things should stay sealed.
He set the object aside, then rose to his feet.
Come on, Alex. Supper should be ready soon.
I was more than happy to comply.